Hello, my name is Aecrix and you can call me Eric. I'm a novice woodworker, and in this video, I'm going to make these cozy wooden lightweight calendars from scratch. I'll start at Home Depot. Try and pick the boards without indentations or obvious damage to them. These are whiteboard chalkboards that I got from Home Depot. They're like 10 bucks, super cheap, and they're 2x4. 2 foot by 4 feet. The only problem I have with my current calendar, I made the squares too big and I want to be able to plan at least 2 months at a time instead of 1 month. 1 month isn't doing it for me. I want to make this out of cedar. I have, a lot of choices here to choose from. You could make these out of redwood. They're equally as light. I'm choosing to use cedar because I have a bunch of cedar. None of them are the size that I need them to be though. So if you're just doing this from scratch and you don't have any wood, you'll just be able to buy what you want. You won't have to laminate them together. I do have to laminate them together because I need them to be longer than this. What I mean by laminating is that I'm going to take several smaller pieces of wood and chemically fuse them together to make one board to the length that I need. Then I can cut that board into the pieces I need for the project. To do this effectively, I need to square off at least 3 sides with my jointer and table saw, then I can glue them together. You can obviously skip this entire process by just buying the wood that's already the length that you want. This is a scrap wood challenge for me though, so I'm only allowed to use what I already have. I took, this crap cedar and I turned it into a panel. That is basically just one board. This is just one board. It's structurally one board. Isn't that frickin' cool? Oh my God, come on, man. I really like this old cedar with the screwed up grains inside where the sap line's dried up. That's my favorite part, is these here. I know a lot of people would just view those as defects, but I think it adds so much personality to the panel. I need 4 48.5s and then 4 23.5s to get you in really close. In case you decide to copy me and do this exact sort of lamination, I'll show you a really nice close-up of where I'm going to be cutting, because it's super important, super important that you cut this lamination correctly. Otherwise it'll fall apart into a million pieces. So right here is the seam of a board where 2 boards connect. So I need to be cutting off of that to make sure that it's a nice rigid piece. These 4 are going to be used for the long part of the frame, and then these 2 will be cut in half, and I'll have the 4 pieces there for the 2-foot part of the frame. I didn't have quite enough material left over, so I made another cedar lamination. So I need to figure out how I'm gonna make strips. That's 10 total strips per calendar. I'm making 2 calendars, so I need 20 strips. This is really nice and flat. It's very thin. This is not even as thick as my finger. Since I don't have a bandsaw, I'm not able to split this evenly without leaving like ½ an inch of material in the middle, where I would have to use a handsaw to remove. And that really does not feel like that's a good idea. The curve is like 1/4 of the size of this. And if it all goes wrong, then I'll just make more laminations. The reason I want to make these so thin, I've made 2 calendars before this and they're kind of bulky, the strips that go and make the grid where you're putting your hand on and actually writing on the calendar. So I've learned from that mistake, and I want to make them as thin as possible so that I basically don't feel them and they're not going to get in my way for writing. Now that this lamination is halved, I'm going to split them again, but this time widthwise. This is extremely dangerous if your lumber isn't fully squared. I have many video tutorials and shorts on my channel that show how to do this properly, so I won't be getting into the details here. These are now all split. They are so thin that you can see through that. It's so thin that it almost cannot hold up its own weight. And I hope that does not become a complication when I am cutting these into strips. There's a really safe and easy way to cut dimensional strips out of wood. All you need is a sacrificial piece to push down on both sides of the board while it's being cut. Raise the blade just 1 millimeter above the material you're cutting, and don't let off the pressure until the entire piece is through. This is how I got 20 identical, extremely thin strips for my calendar. I need you to appreciate how absolutely minuscule these strips are. These are so tiny. I can't believe I pulled this off. I genuinely can't believe it. And the lamination just came in such clutch. Like, look at this here. I have a knot here, and it's held together, if it focuses. It's held together with this part of the lamination. I go back over here, and the opposite side has a giant knot that renders it completely useless. And it's held together with this part of the lamination. The fine structural adhesion here is just, it's so beautiful to look at and to understand how it works. And I didn't get a single failed strip. Whoa, okay. Oh. Don't fall on the ground, please. I worked too hard for you. So I left these long so I can kind of figure out how I want to divide my grid. And I'm very much a visual guy, so I kind of need to just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks perfect to me. Let's move them over, shimmy, shimmy. We'll do a little dancey here. That's a lot of room to write with a fine tip marker. That is a lot of room. Oh, that's looking pretty good if you ask me. I decided to make my calendars less tall, so my lumber measurements are 4 48.5 by 1 3/4 and 4 22.5 by 1 3/4. I'll be mitering the calendar frames. I usually set my blade to 44.9 to offset some of the kerf, and I cut towards my stock instead of away from. Before I glue these frames together, I need to math. The plan is to rat out some pockets on the underside of these frames so I can joint my strips into a grid that will self-align and be structurally stable. Okay, 6.5. I think 6.5 is my golden number. Once I get these on both sides, I can match them up with the top and the strips and see if that works out for me. Yeah, that looks similar to the last one. Now we'll do the horizontal ones, which should be about 4 inches to be honest. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 weeks, 7 days. With marks every 6.5 inches horizontally and every 4 inches vertically, I'm left with, how the heck am I going to attach these strips? I don't want the joints to be visible. I want the calendar frames to look seamless from the front. What I need to do is somehow create some pockets in the back of the frames for the strips to adhere to. My plan here is to use a router and not my table saw. The reason I have to use a router and not the table saw, a table saw will cut at an angle and it'll remove a bunch for me to get to the point where I need to remove strips. Now, the problem that I'm facing currently is that I've done this with pine wood before and they exploded. So I'm a little nervous. I don't know what to say other than that. My thought process has been going, I took one of these strips to the length that to the thickness that I want to use here, and I'm pressing it up against my fence here, and I'm making sure that the router is off of the fence to that amount. What that is going to give me is exactly the depth that I need to cut for these to just slide in. Okay, these are the calendars. Don't pay attention to that, that's still just scrap. These are my strips, and all of these have been routed to fit cleanly these little strips. They are oversized. I did not have a router bit exactly the same size as this incredibly weird shaped strip. All I have to do next is, unfortunately, way scarier. Oh my gosh, it's so much scarier. not for me, but for these strips. To make these really nice and sturdy, they have to be half lapped. So I need to remove 1 millimeter, right there, 1 millimeter thickness to the depth of these. And I need to do that to every single one of these so that they cleanly, very cleanly grid themselves in perpendicularly. That'll remove any shock, any movement, super, super strong once that happens. The problem is they're gonna be super, super incredibly weak before that happens. I need to cut these strips to their final calendar size, which means they need to be at least ½ an inch longer than the interior measurements of your calendar. The interior of my calendar is 46.5 inches by 20.5 inches. So my strips should be at least 47 inches by 21 inches. I'm making the frame again and I'm going to glue it up. No, sorry, not glue it up. I'm gonna tape it up. Look at that, they just go right in, dude. And now I need to cross them, so I'll do the 4 here. That's pretty accurate. I mean, I'm pretty happy with this. Once all my strips are in place, I mark them on each side that meet another wooden strip. This gives me a rough idea as to where they should half lap together. Then I can tape the strips and use an offcut strip as a guide to mark an accurate line across all of them at the same time where I want these half laps to be. Making these half laps identical is pretty simple. They're already taped together. So I raised my saw blade 1 millimeter above the sled and gradually chipped away at the material between my previous marks. I need to glue both of my frames together and let them set up for about an hour before I attach the calendar grid. Attaching the grid to this calendar was extremely satisfying. Popping some glue into each pocket, then setting the vertical strips was fun, but adding 1 drop of glue and adding my horizontal strips was something entirely different. Each time I set 1 horizontal strip, all of the vertical strips would joint into the half lap and self-align into a sturdy, rigid grid pattern. At each intersection, I pressured some tape at the top and secured the half lap tightly. Well, this is pretty rigid. Who knew that my tape would work this well? I'll flip this over. What a solid piece of wood. When I had this idea, I was thinking, yeah, this will take like 2 days. We're on day 4 now. This is a solid piece, dude. I just whacked it on something, it's fine. I'm gonna say that is a resounding success. I'm going to give them a quick sand to remove any saw marks, and then I'll sand their sharp edges to make a nice, comfy feeling calendar. Sanding is always my favorite part of every project. I mean, you could see why I get this free toxic particulate over everything. Over everything. It's cool, that's great. I love this part, yay. Okie dokie, so the fronts of these look astonishing. Like, they are nice. And these are the little copper finishing nails I'm gonna use. I think they're cute. I like the shine on them. I will appreciate them when they patina. And when I go down and press this down, I want to say 4 millimeters to sink into this. So the backing to this needs to be pretty thin. I mean, it actually doesn't have to be thin at all, but it can be thin. And I don't have any more cedar. Well, I have cedar, but I would have to laminate it again. And to me, to Eric, the one speaking, I don't think it matters what the backing is made out of at this point, as long as it's sturdy. So, I thought these were redwood. They might be aromatic cedar. The end grain looks like redwood to me, though. It could be either or. It could be just a sapline redwood. I think it's more likely. I'm gonna clean them up. I split this wood, which is just beautiful. Fantastic, beautiful wood. I just need to sand the edges, make them nice and flush. I'm just hoping I didn't make these too thin. Yeah, these will do fine. Next, I butt joint glued 3 supports into that mystery woods frame, making sure that at least 2 of those supports overlapped the grid of the calendar. I would show you that, but I have no idea where that footage is. It's just gone. All of the wood that you see here has been sanded down to 80 grit sandpaper. That's it, nothing fancy. I'll be applying dark walnut varnish to all faces of these 4 frames. I gotta get these stupid stickers off, which is super awesome. Thanks for putting them on the side that I would be using. I heard that while removing them, if you curse at them, it helps. Fuck you. Using rubbing alcohol. And I'm gonna scrub in little circles. Oh, we've done it. Look at that. Now I can cut these chalkboards to their final size, which is slightly under the measurements of my 2 frames. I think what we'll do is we'll use this side. We'll take our chalkboard or whiteboard. Remember, this is a whiteboard on the other side. So you can really make this however you want. Just gonna line these up on the back here for full support. Man, these are so light. Look at how, ooh, that is a vibe. That's a vibe that I wanted. These supports here are super important. So I'm gonna put a little bit of tape right in the middle of where all of these line up so I can get my finishing nails exactly where I want them. Line this back up, and then I will sink one on this corner to make sure they don't move. These look so good. Oh, I love this design choice. There's so many different ways I could have put these on, and deciding on the nails for that nice shimmer was such a good call. So I'm going to mount these to the wall with some wall nails, just typical wall nails. So to do that, I'm just gonna get a fish bit that is the size of that, and I'm gonna pre-drill some holes on the opposite side. And that's fine in there. Notice how they're pretty protruding here. This is how much I want it to go into the wall. This looks like it's about 1/4 of an inch, and this head is flat, so it's gonna lodge itself into the fish bit at a straight angle just like that. And to put this on the wall, it's very simple. All we have to do is put all the nails into all 3 of these holes, and then just very lightly tap it into the drywall, and then it'll just stay there. These are so cozy. I mean, they're just the same color as everything, just easily right. That was my foot against the wall, not my head this time. So that's, you know, improvement. Just look at, you can't tell where the joints are, which is great. When you look really close, you'll see the nice copper following the wood grain. It's just nice. All these little things pop, like boom, boom. Just walking past this, and you get the nice shimmer. It's just so nice. I love how light these came out. These are 2x4 calendar, chalk calendars, and they are like 3 pounds each, fixed to the wall with 3 nails. I mean, just fantastic. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And remember, creativity is a skill, not a talent that you're born with. Until next time.